And we are live! Welcome to the Crafty Boys! It is 2023, and we are here drinking beer just like we always do. And this week's beer, all of us have it. And it looks like this. It is Electric Unicorn White IPA from Phillips Brewing and Malting Co. Now, Electric Unicorn is a hop-infused white ale best enjoyed while riding mystical mono-horned laser beast laser beasts
Laser beast.
racing through the galaxy to the sonic backdrop of screaming metal guitars. So basically, this is the beer rocking in at 6.5% that should be telling us all there is to know about heavy metal.
Indeed.
Speaking of heavy metal, I did notice that there was a comparison video of the heavy metal movie and The Fifth Element. And they played it side by side. Like the basic clips of all the different scenes. And I would have to say, Fifth Element, at least visually from a film standpoint, is a ripoff of heavy metal.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I think part of the issue is that they were borrowing from the same sources, which is to say
That is
that
entirely possible.
French sci-fi comics like Mobius, a huge influence on both. But I actually know the writer, or at least one of the writers of Heavy Metal the movie.
Oh, really? Tell us more.
Yeah, Lenny Bloom. He also wrote Beethoven 2 and a bunch of other stuff.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
I need some cash. We're going to do this movie again with a dog and stuff. All right, done!
Yep.
There are some really great writers out there that do that kind of stuff, where they write like the stuff they actually want
You
to
said
create.
doo-doo.
And then they turn around and are, having to do several projects that are just,
Yeah.
cash money.
Yeah.
You know what would be kind of cool?
He also wrote Stripes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
thought Harold Ramis wrote Stripes.
He directed it.
Oh, he
He
directed. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what would be kind of cool is if you could come
Whoa.
up with like an AI script generator and let the AI develop a script.
Somehow managed to get. I think I note that the larger, circumference radius of the internal glass that you pour the beer into has produced much greater head than either.
Yeah, no, the head is actually quite stunning. I would like to say that I didn't pour it badly, but maybe I did.
Having said that, this one here, the head is really sticking around. I mean, like
Yes.
it was kind of high to start with, and it's kind of like it's diminished down to what it is here, but it's sticking around. Like this isn't going anywhere.
So this is a white IPA, which is, I think, in my mind, drawing me to wonder: does that make it a bit like a Belgian?
Yeah.
Well,
I would say so.
according to this website that I have discovered, let me share the screen here. I just found this now. This is not like I've been planning something. But essentially, it looks like the white IPA is a marriage of two distinct styles: the American IPA with its high hop character, and a wheat-based Belgian wit.
Aha, yes. Okay, all right.
Which doesn't surprise me because it definitely tastes like a wheat beer with a high level of hops. So there we go. So Deschutes did it. Oh man, they did it again. Deschutes is always, the stuff that they make just always gives you
Well, hold on a minute.
warm,
now here.
fuzzy
Sorry,
feelings.
what year was that? I mean,
They
Deschutes
say
likes to
2010.
This is 2015. The article came out, so this is like.
But it
7
says in
years
the
ago.
article 2010.
Yeah, but it says in the article they put that beer out in 2010, and I wonder when Phillips first put out the Unicorn, because I kind of feel like I was in Victoria when it came out, which means that must have been within a year or so of that.
Well, let's see if I can find anything here regarding Electric Unicorn's history.
So are you suggesting that Deschutes stole it from?
What I'm saying is that there's a long-standing rivalry on the West Coast between Portland and Victoria, and I'm 100% Victoria championing, even though I have lived in both places.
Right.
Because I'm biased. I'm just fucking biased.
So this leads me to a
I'm
question.
conscious of the bias.
While Shane is looking that up, what is the bigger name? I think I know the answer to this. Is it Deschutes or is it Phillips? Like, Phillips is a pretty big brand nowadays. It's grown.
I think there
But
may be.
is it on the same level as Deschutes?
There may be some jurisdictionality to that. What I can tell you is that in Ontario, to the degree that Phillips shows up, it shows up a little bit more than Deschutes. Now, whether that's true anywhere in the U.S., I frankly doubt. I expect that the U.S. market will be flooded with Deschutes and Phillips will be a rarity. That is my guess.
Here we go. So this is from beermebc.com from 2024. Snatched back from the realm of fantasy, the Electric Unicorn White IPA is racing back to the liquor store. So it looks like it might have been
back to the liquor store. So it's within a year or two, like within 3 years of Deschutes. Yeah.
So basically, so it does look like that it has been around for a bit of time and is definitely a. I mean, I like
Records
it.
Put out like a white IPA as well. I could swear that they did.
Did who?
The White Wheat Ale in 2013.
Oh, it's 2013. Okay.
However, as of 2021, it appears that Rickard's White has been completely discontinued for the Canadian market and was replaced by the Belgian Moon White Ale.
Oh,
I don't know.
Sorry, was replaced by the Belgian Moon. So Rickards and Belgian Moon share a parent?
Belgian Moon White Ale is a Rickards product, apparently. I'm actually going to look this up, see what's on their website.
That's probably not bad rebranding, but...
Well, I mean...
Rickards, when Rickards hit the market, it was Rickards Red, which is an alliteration, and so it sort of sticks, right?
Right.
Rickards White sounds...
sounds different.
Well, there's no alliteration there. There's no particular pull to that, is there?
No. Now, I want to point out something. I'll say I was forced. I was
framed!
I went to a restaurant recently, and I ordered a beer, and one of the things they had was Rickards Red, and that seemed to be the most palatable thing that they actually had.
Right, because everything else is Coors White or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Rickards Red is something that Shane and I, at least, used to drink a lot of back in our
early
Boston
20s,
pizza, right?
Boston,
yeah,
Boston pizza.
And we loved that stuff, but that was before really craft brewing really took off.
It was before it hit. Yeah. That was like early to mid '90s, I think.
Yeah. So I had one recently, a Rickards Red.
Okay.
And it holds up. Like this seasoned craft beer loving tongue
Yeah.
could totally get into the Rickards Red. Like I could drink it again.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Now other beers, like say was it Piper's from Vancouver Island Brewing, which is a craft beer, and I used to drink a ton of that stuff. I can't stomach it anymore.
Mm.
You know,
Sorry,
I feel like my palate has evolved beyond that. But Rickards Red, man, I was totally.
It was Piper's and Island Brewing, or who made that?
Piper's is Vancouver Island, yeah.
Vancouver Island, okay.
Yeah, I actually remember we had a Rickards. I think we bought it about, I don't know. This is going back probably 5 or 6 years now. But I remember being in Victoria and we bought some Pipers thinking, oh yeah, Pipers Pale Ale, I remember that. And then we had it and it was like, what the hell are we drinking? And it wasn't long after that experience where we had the change up of, get out of here, Alan. He just dropped.
No.
I have no idea.
Lynn.
Alan, come back. What the hell was that?
I don't know. It just froze and.
Piper's Pale Ale. I'm out of here.
Fuck that noise. Jesus, no, Shane's gone.
No, I did that on purpose.
Okay,
but,
all right.
Technology.
Yeah.
So what was it? Oh, and something else that I tried recently that was actually I was surprised how much I still enjoyed it. Was Sleeman's Honey Brown.
I have no problem with Sleeman's Honey Brown. I don't know. It's one of those beers that every so often it's like, you know what? I can have one of those if it's on the menu and you know it's not a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
It was a little sweet for me, but that said, you know, like given options like, you know, Molson Canadian and, you know, your usual, like Stella and whatnot. Yeah, I might do that.
Stella!
I mean, you know, like I still don't understand what the deal with Stella is. It's the Budweiser of Europe.
I can't get into Stella. Sorry. It's gross. Anyway, so what are we thinking about this electric unicorn, guys?
I'm enjoying it. It's a beer I'm familiar with. I've had it several times, and I give it a thumbs up. It is, I want to say it's a lighter beer. Not really, but it's lighter in taste, and yes. It's definitely something that. Yeah. So you know, it's good.
I wish there was an IBU rating on this. I'm going to suggest it's not that high.
Let me see if the larger can has one. I don't. Not.
I mean, did you actually get the tall cans?
Got the tall boys. Yeah.
I could not find any tall boys, and apparently
they're from export outside of BC.
Oh well, that would explain it.
So, a question. This begs the question.
Yes.
If you had to choose between this and a Fat Tug, what's getting
it? That's not a fair comparison.
I know, right? Okay. Between this and I don't know, another. I don't. Nothing else is coming to mind. Another IPA. Fresh. I think doesn't have fair.
No.
Okay, look. Anything hazy on the market right now is, as you've heard me complain all through 2022 and probably 2021, is boring the shit out of me because everybody's doing it now. Yeah. This is a different product. I like it better because it's different.
Okay.
I think this is I feel well served by Phillips addressing this corner of the market, saying that There are people who like their, you know, powerful, frothy Belgian wheat hoppiness
Right.
to be really hoppy, which I think this is.
Right. Okay. Fair. I mean, I don't know if I'd get this again, to be honest. I'm enjoying it, but it's not like wowing me. It's not like knocking my socks off my feet, right?
The flavor is sort of like any other wit beer with maybe just a bit more, like a little bit more hot muscle, but not a lot more. It's not like
I've only really had this out somewhere else, like eating out. That's when I've had the Electric Unicorn. I don't think, aside with maybe we've done at home once in a while.
Sense to me
but
here.
Primarily it's it's something I don't have at home. So
if I wanted to have a wheat beer, I would probably choose, if it was available, Heritage River from Red Arrow in Duncan, which we've done on the show before, quite a long time ago. But I would choose that over this every day of the week.
That's an interesting point. Yeah.
All right, now we have to talk about this because it's in the news for the past few days, but it's time to put cancer warning labels on alcohol. So no amount of alcohol is safe, says the new report from the Canadian Centre on Substance Abuse and Addiction. So this just came out. This probably, I think, dropped on Friday, and but the main report was released, I think, just yesterday. So basically, they're pressuring the Canadian government to start to have like cigarettes and stuff like that. They want people to have the same warnings on alcohol, because beforehand, it used to be don't drink any more than 15 drinks for men per week and 10 drinks for women per week. But now it is down to don't consume any more than 2 drinks because it's considered risky. I don't know if this particular article breaks it down as the types of alcohol, but I don't think it does. I think it's just basically across the board of alcohol in general.
One unit of alcohol is equivalent to, say, one standard size beer. So like the Locks tall can would probably be like 1.5 or something like that.
Right.
It does say in the article also that 3 to 6 is still considered moderate drinking, but has like a moderate risk of developing like cancer. And by moderate risk, I read somewhere that it worked out to be like a 1 in 100 chance.
Yeah, and I gather that part of this is being fueled by, I'm just kind of cycling through the article, sorry there, guys, but essentially one of the things that, I'm going to go back here, is that apparently because of the phenomenon of binge drinking, where people in their late teens, early 20s are just they're basically drinking the equivalent of everything in one day for like a month worth of alcohol. Is that there are more people of that age group that are winding up in hospital for things like getting their stomach pumped, but more often apparently is their livers are giving up. So their livers are actually getting cirrhosis, and at the age of 22. So, I mean, I don't disagree that that's bad, but at the same time, I was never a binge drinker, so I've not had that addictive gene.
Well, except for Beer Fest, when it comes.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, it's basically been, I can. This will be the only beer I have today. Will I have one tomorrow? Probably not. Will I have one on Friday? Maybe. Will I have one on the weekend? Maybe. I don't know.
You know what? I have routinely I would say 2 to 3 a week. I figure I'm okay. I figure I'm safe.
I drink way more than that.
Yeah.
But you're taller, so the
Yeah,
beer
you're a
takes a
big
long
guy.
time to get to your liver.
Something to that, and you know, like my people are the ones that kind of more or less invented this stuff. So,
Well, exactly, and that's the thing, right? Is that it's a. I mean, I'm not against rules or suggestions that people moderate their alcohol consumption, because there are times where I've been hanging out with people and it's like, um, they're basically drinking so much where, you know, they're passing out on a daily basis kind of thing, and you know, you quietly think to yourself like, well, dude, maybe you should probably, you know, maybe you shouldn't have so much. I mean, it's kind of like people that I know that are smokers too. You know, there's several people that I know that they have that constant guttural, when they cough, you can hear the phlegm, and they still smoke, and it's like, do you not hear what I'm hearing from across the room? But you know, make your own choices. You know, feel free. But if you were to ask me whether or not you should smoke, I will say, hell no, because you're an idiot. And just because they've been smoking for so long that their lungs are, you know, used to it. But at the same time, you do age, people. You do get older, and your body's like, yeah, that stuff you did a decade ago. Yeah, maybe not.
We have a comment from somebody who says, "Hey, from Victoria, Australia." Well, hey, from Victoria,
next
BC,
one,
Canada.
Hey, you Aussies, screaming Jets, man, screaming Jets.
Was it the Screaming Jets? Well, you know, I gotta say that what the mother Murgatroyd? I'm ignoring that comment. But anyway, I don't know how to recover from that. But anyway,
That's somebody who needs to pay attention to the new guidelines.
Yeah, exactly. That is somebody who is definitely in the need for yeah. You were saying.
What were we? What were we?
I
have no idea. No idea. No clue. I have a question. Locke, what you're wearing like a hockey jersey or something?
Oh yeah. Hudson's big.
Oh, okay. It kind of looked like a Salmon Kings jersey from Victoria.
A little bit like
way back when.
Yeah.
Now defunct team.
That is kind of sad.
Okay, so yes, the new guidelines for alcohol. I don't really have a problem with them. I mean, you can still do what you want to do. These are just guidelines. And I think Health Canada has a responsibility to try and educate people on healthy lifestyles. And the less drinking you do, the healthier you're going to be. But the point is that every person is different. You know, 12 drinks a week for somebody may have been okay, but for another person may not have been. Some people have less tolerance for alcohol than others. So, I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with warning labels and all that. If they're on cigarettes, maybe they should be on alcohol as well. I'm completely on board with it. And let's face it, millennials are drinking a little less than we do or did when we were that age. So
it would be hard not to, but yeah.
In fact, there is a movement afoot for low alcohol or no alcohol craft beer, which I'm not entirely on board with. I mean, the low alcohol, okay. The no alcohol, no, because the flavor on that stuff is just crap. I tried what they say is one of the best ones on the market, Partake. And I tried their IPA, and it was it was not good. I will not be buying that again. It does not taste beer.
Yeah, like I've gone down this road. Like I sampled a health promoting zero alcohol, zero carbs, zero everything beer. I think maybe sometime in 2022. Maybe I can't remember when that was exactly, but like I would absolutely take mineral water over that every single day of the week. Like there was nothing to it. Like it was mineral water with you know what I mean? Like ew.
Well, it's very important for us all to recognize that you and or us here, we need to create synthahol. See, there you go. Synthahol.
Here's one of the things. Here's one of the things that occurs to me. Okay, so
right.
While we have everybody, sort of getting much more concerned about alcohol, and much more concerned about smoking. So tobacco and alcohol, those are out. While this is going on, there's a big movement right now to legalize hallucinogens.
Oh, I've been
so why would
that, yeah.
Why would you drink alcohol when you can just do mushrooms? I guess alcohol is probably something that's a little bit more work safe than mushrooms most days, would be my guess. But
I think for me, the alcohol, it's not so much the alcohol I'm enjoying. Like when I drink a craft beer, I'm enjoying the flavor of the beer. Like the process of consuming it and tasting it. And there's a social component to that as well, sitting down with friends like you, us three right here.
I'll admit that for me, there's a bit of
yeah. I don't know.
Come drinking alcohol.
Yeah. I don't know that there is that same social component and enjoyment factor of the actual consumption that exists with, say, mushrooms or something like that. It's the high that
point. If you were having a mushroom every few minutes, yeah, first of all, you're chewing on them, and that's poor conversation. Once you've done your mushrooms, I think you're kind of probably on the wrong track if you're going to keep doing more mushrooms while you're on mushrooms. That's not going to end well.
Right.
It'd be like, I've just done some acid. I know. Let's socially do some more acid with a little bit more acid. What planet are you on? Why are you doing more acid after you just dropped acid? Like, you see? Like, where's the win there? It's just making you all fucking weird, dude.
Like, are we all gonna go to bars and sit around a table and go, yes, a round of sugar cubes on me?
Lord in hell! I sort of, and that's an 8-hour. That's an 8-hour commitment, I think, isn't it? Something like that. Yeah. So maybe there are reasons why people drink alcohol.
It's a social component for me, and I
really think that.
Yeah. I don't often sit down by myself and have a beer. I only do it if I'm with somebody else. So, there is that.
That is true. I'm always with somebody when drinking beer. I don't there's very few times where I will, be sitting there by myself doing
Which is probably a good thing.
Doing the beer.
So far apart.
So what'd you guys do? Drank beer. Didn't you do that yesterday?
Yeah.
By the way, Locke, I just put this together for you really quickly here. I just thought you might enjoy this. Hey, man, you got any more of that acid? So I just thought, maybe that it could be an issue. But in terms of,
I kind of think acid is very different than crack. Acid, you do a bunch of that. There's a real reason not to do acid again. Doing a bunch of crack, the incentive seems to be, not that I've tried it, the incentive seems to be to do more of it.
This might be true. I'm trying to think of all the times I've done acid, but I can't remember any of it, so,
Yeah, right. There you go. I imagine
I could be on acid right now.
Maybe this show isn't actually happening.
Yeah, I'm actually sitting on the toilet. People outside are like, what's he talking about?
It's all flashback, dude.
Shane, you're actually 16. And you haven't met me yet.
Damn it. Oh my god, what a horrible life that would be.
Imagine that Star Trek episode, Star Trek The Next Generation, where Picard, they find that probe and Picard lives somebody else's life into old age. And then he was convinced that his time on the Enterprise and being Jean-Luc Picard was all just a nightmare or a dream or something. And then he comes out of it once he dies and he's back to being Jean-Luc Picard.
I feel like I missed that one, but okay.
It's considered to be one of the best episodes of Next Generation ever made.
Yeah.
I was very, very impressed in the time I served in law school in Portland as to how many millennials are absolutely Next Generation addicts. Like they really feel that show. That's like, for them, that's something that's like really important. That's culturally important to them. Like, I was surprised by that. I would never have guessed. But it does seem like that was something that really resonated with that generation anyway.
I have to admit, when I go back and watch the Next Generation episodes, a lot of them don't really stand up. They have not stood the test of time. The stories seem contrived. And
what was the name of the woman that played Tasha Yar that did the Playboy shoot?
Denise Crosby.
Okay, see, I couldn't pull that up that quickly. I think we've identified somebody who is a Trekker, not a Trekkie, I imagine, but a Trekker.
Or somebody just with a really good memory.
So do you have a copy of that issue? No. Okay.
Actually, to be honest, I didn't even know about it until you.
Neither do I. Do I want one? Yes.
Sorry, we all just went into fantasy mode. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh man, wasn't she like head of like security or something? She was some badass job and naked. Yeah.
and she came back later. She was like the head of like the Romulan Empire.
No.
Yeah, there was some storyline they came up with where she had been kidnapped before she was on the Enterprise. Like she was, and she had a rape baby, I guess, was sort of the whole thing. But I see that seems to I seem to recall that was what the story was.
It was from an episode called Yesterday's Enterprise, which is actually my favorite one. So
is that the one with Fraser?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So the Enterprise had
Kelsey
to go.
Grammer was on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah. So this had to do with they were going to investigate an anomaly the previous Enterprise, the Enterprise C, came through out of the anomaly, which was like a wormhole or something.
Right.
And the wormhole had been caused by a battle that had happened between the Enterprise and the Romulans, as the Enterprise was trying to protect the Klingons. And eventually it's what ended the war between the Federation and the Klingons. But because the Enterprise C had come through, they didn't actually save the Klingons, and it thrust the Federation into a huge war with the Klingons. So this damaged Enterprise C.
Wait. Let me see if I understand this correctly.
Yeah.
By trying to help the Klingons, they started a war with the Klingons.
No. Yeah, maybe, kind of. Yeah. Because the Klingons thought, well, the Enterprise was here and it suddenly left. Screw those guys. What's up with that? So yes. Yeah, you're actually right.
What you're saying is that at some point North America could be at war with the Ukraine or some shit like that, yeah?
I guess.
Maybe.
Anyway, so Denise Crosby, Tasha Yar is on the Enterprise. Guinan is there, and Guinan's like, this isn't right. The timeline is broken, and says to Tasha, you're not supposed to be here. So Tasha goes onto the Enterprise C and goes back with them to their time to defeat the Romulans, and apparently got captured by the Romulans at that point. And yeah, they restored the timeline, but Tasha went back with the Enterprise C and got captured and ended up giving birth to whoever became the leader of Romulus.
Yeah, whatever that character. I can't remember that character's name.
I can't remember.
But I just looked up this episode, and this is the first episode where Worf drinks prune juice and says, "A warrior's drink."
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. Prune juice, a warrior's drink. Yeah, I mean, there are so many episodes that have that kind of temporal issue where they bounce back and forth or cross timelines or whatever. And I love that stuff. What season was this? This is season 3,
I think it was
right?
season 4.
Nope, season 3, episode 15. So, I mean, this is the because Tasha Yar died in the first season, right? Was it the first season?
Yes, the end of the first season.
So she was gone, and then she only came back after the fact. Okay. And then she appeared how many times after that? I don't even know.
2 or 3.
Yeah, so she became wasn't she in DS9 as well? That character?
I don't recall.
He eventually put out a documentary called Trekkers.
Trekkers?
Yeah.
Well, there is one. I think. Isn't there?
Yeah, I believe she hosted it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, that's right. There was. Yes, she did appear in that. That was a scary show.
Was it?
Oh yeah. Some of those people were like nuts.
I'm trying to think of what if I've seen it, but I don't think I have. Celia, that was the character that she came back as. Everything in me that was human died that day, along with my mother. Blah, blah, blah. All that is left is Romulan. So there you go. So basically, she is now evil.
That happens to women after.
Is it just me, or are you guys hearing like a microwave working? I'm hearing like beeps and stuff.
It might be. Are you using the microwave?
Josh.
Yeah, she was using the microwave.
Okay.
So.
That was Alex.
I thought maybe I was hearing something. I'm like, there's nobody here. Like I thought it was somebody.
No
in my
one
kitchen.
is using my microwave. But I mean, overall, of all of these characters and all of these particular episodes, the most important question is if you were to take this episode of yesterday's Enterprise and pair it with a beer, what beer would it be?
Sorry, was there an episode of Enterprise yesterday?
No. Yesterday's Enterprise, the episode we were just talking about.
Oh, and pair and pair it with a beer.
Now,
I'm not
Alan,
sure.
is this Fat Tug level episode? Or
Yeah, sure.
okay.
If that's your poison. Locke, you have Netflix, don't you?
Sorta.
Sort of.
Sort of.
How do you sort of have Netflix? Anyway, don't answer that. Next Generation is on Netflix. I highly recommend you watch yesterday's Enterprise, season 3, episode 15, I think.
Okay.
I think he's
Hey,
right.
are you writing this down?
I think he is.
Yes, I am.
Excellent. So, okay. We only have a few minutes left before we pack it in.
Mm.
But of the order of the Great Order of Synthahol, what are your sort of final words on the whole alcohol warning label business?
Look, I mean, warning labels, I think, are appropriate because they avoid liability. So if you were an elected candidate whose campaign contributions mostly come from an alcohol company, and you were trying to save them from the liability of cancer lawsuits, what you would tell them is, we're going to pass a statute that's going to put warnings on all of your products, which is going to make them harder to sell, but protect you from liability in the long run, the long run, the something run, the running
The Bulls or something.
running the bulls, yes, running the bullshit. So I think maybe it's like most warning labels, something to prevent people from getting sued rather than something to protect their health. But that is just one man's opinion. And
that's a really good point.
And we do live in a country that has
very good
nationalized health care, so there isn't a counter argument to that. But yeah, that's sort of how I take it.
Well, actually, that's a very good thought. Is that because we are in a country with healthcare for all kind of thing, are we burdened with the people? I mean, I don't have any numbers of any kind to say whether this is right or not. But essentially, are we burdened with people that are just drinking too much?
The same people that burden us by drinking too much are the same people that burden us by living on the street and needing constant maintenance and survival help and all of that.
Okay. Alan, any insight?
Well, I mean, I work in a medical field, and yeah, I do see a lot of patients come my way who clearly have dependency issues with alcohol. One patient in particular that I can remember admitted to drinking 3 bottles of wine a day, which is a lot.
That's a lot of wine a day. Yeah,
that's a lot of wine. And others that have, 8 beers a day, like every day.
Oh wow.
And those are outliers, but not by a lot. So there is definitely an issue with overconsumption, especially when it comes to people, at least to chronic medical problems down the road.
Right.
That can be Um, it can be a drain on the taxpayers too, because they're the ones that have to fund these people's healthcare.
Here's a question that I don't know if either of you have answers to, but I think it's a worthy question. So we understand the distillation process, and we understand that you don't want the heads and you don't want the tails. You want the stuff in the middle, which is ethanol. Now, the current warning, as I understand it, is substantially about ethanol. It's ethanol that they're warning you about. But if you're somebody that consumes lots of alcohol and you're drinking wine or beer as opposed to spirits, does that mean that all the stuff that you're not drinking when you're drinking spirits because you don't want the heads and you don't want the tails, does that mean all of that's in that other stuff? How does that work?
Very good question.
I have no idea.
I mean, I suppose if you were drinking gasoline, I suppose. I mean, the distillation process. I mean, yeah, your people generally are pretty careful about, taking the stuff. I mean,
but was
the heads gets
stuff that was in beer and wine?
I don't know if it was. Well, maybe. I mean, it depends. I suppose on the
distillation process, because you're heating it up. Does the heating it up make it into another chemical that's extra poisonous, or was that stuff there all along?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So was the ethanol already present before the distillation process?
Well, I imagine the ethanol was, but what about all the other stuff that you...
Sorry, the bad stuff. Yeah. The paint thinner. I don't understand the process, but it would make sense to me that it was there in some form.
Alan, do you have anything to offer?
I have no idea.
Huh.
I don't know enough.
Stuff for us to wonder about until next time.
Yeah. Yes, until next time. Yes, exactly. I'm going to do a bit of research for next week so that we can actually determine whether or not what format is the ethanol in prior to brewing. All right, boys, it's late. I know that Locke is probably wanting to go to bed, and I'm getting pretty close myself. So until next week, everybody. It is 2023. This is year 28 of our podcast. It feels like.
It might be.
Yeah. So don't forget to subscribe. Do all the stuff that people normally tell you to do. Follow us on Twitter. All that kind of stuff. We'll be around, and we'll see you all next week, Wednesday nights, where we drink beer and talk about crap, because we're cute that way. Thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye.